Hey guys, JoJo here. So earlier today I was thinking, you know what? It's been a while since I've done a My Thoughts video. I think the last one I did was on San Diego Comic-Con. So I thought, let's do something a little different. Because usually I do them on movies, but I'm thinking, why not do it on comics? Because that's what this channel's mostly about. Actually, it's about a mix of things, but anyways, yeah, I recently read Supergirl Being Super, and I thought, hey, why not just do a My Thoughts video on that? So, yeah, let's get on into it. I actually have the book right here. This is actually only volume one, but shout out to Comic Book Estate because he's the one that got me this book, and he had it signed by Mariko Tamaki, who was the author, and then the art is by Joel Jones. So before we get into it, I do want to mention that I had a clean slate for the most part regarding Supergirl prior to reading the story, and I thought they really did a good job with making it self-contained and making it easier for the reader to just jump into it without knowing too much about her history in, the regular canon or lore. So yeah, that in itself was pretty awesome. I don't know, it just wasn't really a character that I was drawn to growing up. I was all about, Batman and the Bat family. And that's a different tone completely. Like, Batman's a lot darker and grittier. This was a lot lighter, and I mean, there were some dark tones to it, but for the most part, it was kind of a feel-good coming of age story. So I really did enjoy that aspect of it. In the story, we follow our protagonist, Kara Danvers, not to be confused with Carol Danvers of the Marvel Universe. But yeah, her alien name being Kara Zor-El, who we usually know to be Superman's cousin. But I'm not sure that she is in this story because, like I said earlier, the story is a self-contained one-off. So I don't think, I mean, they didn't make it clear. I will say that. I guess that's a bit of a spoiler. I don't know. But yeah, they kind of just focus on her and not so much on Superman or her relation to Superman. So she's in high school and she's having to deal with a lot, guys. She's dealing with her powers just malfunctioning and diminishing for no reason, and she's trying to figure out the cause throughout the story. And she's also having to deal with the death of a loved one, which is really intense, actually. I didn't think they were going to go there in this story, and they did, which I really appreciate. I like that the stakes were high and that we actually did see Kara struggle with those emotions, and there were feelings of guilt and almost depression. And obviously the events that played out weren't realistic because it's a superhero story, but I feel like they did a good job of making her emotions and her reactions and her trying to find herself, all those types of coming of age themes were present and very realistic. So I did like that. I thought overall the art was great. I thought the story was very good, and if I could, if I had one little nitpick, and that would be that throughout the story, Kara, one of her main confidants is her friend. I forgot her name, but she keeps cracking jokes, and like, I don't know, I just didn't think it was very funny. Like, a lot of the time they just they fell flat for me, and I don't know if that's Mariko's writing, that just maybe she's not the best at being comedic, but just didn't really work for me. Also, the character that I'm speaking of is a gay character, and that's all cool that they included her in there. But I just really felt like it was in your face. Like at one point she used the word dyke in there, and I don't know, it was kind of crude and out of nowhere. I mean, she was joking around while she said it, but like, I don't know. It just didn't feel right to me. So that was a little awkward. But yeah, the character herself was pretty cool, I thought, and I really like their relationship. Her relationship with Kara was pretty solid. And yeah, I think the story overall was very relatable for those kids in high school right now that, aren't really sure what's going on with their bodies and like all those hormonal changes and all that happening. Sometimes it's really hard for a kid to understand what's happening. So I feel that this story is kind of an allegory for all that, and not only just dealing with changes in the body, but also just dealing with like serious matters like death, death of a loved one, and how it's okay to mourn them and to go through that phase of, sadness and in dealing with all that, but to come out of that as well and to, be a better person because of it and grow from it. And I think they captured that very well with this story. And, you know, towards the end of the story, Kara is trying to figure out who she is. She knows, I mean, she's known since she was a little girl that she's had these capabilities and superpowers, but she doesn't quite know why or why she, is on Earth. So I really did like her motivation in trying to figure out who she was exactly and what her powers meant for her. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this story to anybody, maybe over the age of 14. I think it's a good read. It's an easy read. You don't have to know too much about Supergirl going into it. Like I said, they do a good job in making it kind of a self-contained thing. And in that vein, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Smallville, especially the end. But, this one was a little more slice of life type of thing, because, yeah, you just follow her for a couple weeks, it seems like. But anyway, all right, guys, that's about it for this, my thoughts on Supergirl being super video. If you liked it, give me a like or subscribe or both. I don't hate it. And you could also catch me on Twitter and on Instagram at PopDotComix. And I guess I'll catch y'all over there. Later.